culture in Ireland isn't just confined to art galleries and theatres, but extends right down to the traditional Irish pub. The Old Jameson Distillery was established in 1780 and is still here to tell the tale today. Ray, tonight is Culture Night and it is jam-packed here at the Old Jameson Distillery. What's going on here this evening?
Well, we're playing our part for Culture Night and we're so happy that we've had such a turnout. It's beyond what we expected, to be honest with you. But yes, we have hundreds of people literally queuing up to come in and to take a Jameson experience of the Old Jameson Distillery.
And Culture Night is all about getting people out there, experiencing new things. How important do you think it is for the distillery and for Dublin as well?
I think it's really important for our domestic business to be more aware of what's on their doorstep. I think that's the whole essence of the spirit of the Culture Night. We see a huge amount of people from Ireland and from Dublin, and also people who are visiting that are taking the opportunity to come and see what we do here at the Old Jameson Distillery. But it's of huge value to us at the Old Jameson Distillery that people in Dublin know what happens inside the doors of the Old Jameson Distillery down here in Smithfield.
And the Old Jameson Distillery here in Smithfield has been here for a very long time.
We've been here a long time. In fact, the whole story started in the year 1780 when John Jameson began his distilling business here in this actual building and distilled here right up until 1973 when he moved his production from here, and it's now made in Middleton in County Cork.
So it's not operational today, it's more of a tourist facility?
If you did a tour, you might think that we do because it's very real, but in actual fact, no, we don't. We recreate the scene of how the distillery would have appeared at the turn of the 1900s. So we've recreated the whole story from the very beginning, from the arrival of the grain, through each part of the process in a logical sequence of events. So visitors here get a chance to come through to do a tour incorporating a film in the auditorium, and then all our tours are guided tours, so we go through each sequence of the distilling story and then end up in the bar where everybody gets a chance to taste Jameson whiskey.
Well, it sounds great. I'm very excited. Why don't we go and take a look? Whiskey making is a pretty long process. Talk me through what happens.
Right, it is a long process, Judy, and basically nothing can happen until the raw materials arrive. And the raw materials, as we saw, are barley and water. When the barley arrives after harvest time, we then take a portion of that barley from the grain store and we malt it through a process which involves seeping the grains in water and then drying it out over closed kilns. Then we grind those grains down into a coarse flour called grist. And then the grist is taken for a mashing process where we get our first sugars. And once we get our first sugars, we add a yeast, which converts those sugars into alcohol. But it's a weak alcohol mixture. It's about 7% in overall strength. We are looking for a whiskey. So we need to separate water from alcohol. And we do that in the heart of the distillery called a stillhouse, where through a process of distillation, we separate alcohols away from the water.
And distillation is the most important part of the process, right?
It's the heart of the entire secret of whiskey making. And in the stillhouse, the art of distillation involves the separation of alcohol from water, and we use the key principle that alcohol has a lower boiling point than water. So when we raise the temperature of the wash, the alcohol vaporizes before the water does, and we capture those alcohols, and then we store them in oak barrels. Now the barrels that we use have been seasoned. They've already been used before. So
that gives it a nice flavour?
Well, it takes away the dominance of the wood, but yes, it also extracts the flavours and the colours from the wood from what has previously happened in that barrel before we get it. And then of course the big secret is to make sure that the master distiller selects those casks that are ready for bottling, and we bring them to an area where we vat all those beautiful casks of whiskey. And there we have our whiskey ready for distribution all over the world.
Out of all the places tonight on Culture Night, you're here at the Jameson Distillery. Why did you choose this place?
It's convenient to get, and I was very interested in the history of Jameson as well, so being Irish.
Have you ever been here before?
I've never been here before. Neil here showed me how to get here, but I'm looking forward to hopefully having a bit of a tasting. Hoping that's part of the tour this evening.
And it's Culture Night tonight. After you finish your tour up here at the Jameson Distillery, will you be going anywhere else? What else is on the agenda?
I think it'll have to be the Guinness Storehouse, followed by Dublin City Castle.
So Jameson followed by Guinness.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Thanks very much.
Why did you choose this out of everywhere you can go tonight? Why the Jameson Distillery?
Just thought it'd be a really nice place to see the good views from up the top, just to have a look around.
And are you whiskey drinkers?
No, not at all, really.
Not huge, no.
So you know you get a free glass of Jameson at the end of the trip. Will you be passing it up?
No, we
Maybe
might
not.
try it.
It's a cold night, we want to keep ourselves warm, you know.
And it's Culture Night tonight, obviously, so you can see lots of different places free of charge and they're open late. Where else is on the list?
We have a map of just the quarter around here, so there's a couple of artist galleries and studios, and maybe the Museum of Modern Art as well.
Have you ever participated in Culture Night before?
Yeah, we were around town last year as well, so we went to a few different spots, so it's a good night.
The Bad Art Gallery is located in the capital's hip and trendy historical quarter. And with live performances with burlesque models, this gallery certainly lives up to its name. Denise, Culture Night tonight. The gallery's absolutely jam-packed.
Absolutely crazy. It's much better than last year. This is one of the events that just gets bigger and better every year. So everyone seems to be having a great time.
And tell me what's happening here tonight? What different events have you got going on?
We have T-Bone Kelly and his band over there, the Electric Glide Band, and they've been just jazzing away all night. We have the Dr. Sketchy anti-art class, which we're asking all the public to participate, which means drawing the burlesque girls and the sketches are only 5 minutes, so it's all fun.
And can everyone take part, even if you're terrible at art?
It doesn't matter if you can't draw. It's just all for fun, and it's trying to get the public involved with the art, because artists are on their own most of their time in studios, and it's good to interact with the public as well.
And you've also got some live art performances as well, don't you? That's pretty rare.
It is, because a lot of artists, they don't like painting in front of people. They don't like letting you see with their little techniques and stuff. And I suppose because they are in a studio on their own all the time. But this tonight, they actually really enjoyed it. We have Lucy Doyle, Porrick McCall, David Nolan and Kevin McSherry. And they all said they had such a great time. It's great to get feedback as well about their work. And all the clients that I've sold paintings of, they just love seeing how they did their masterpieces. So really good.
Now, you're located on Francis Street, which is like a hub in cultural Dublin. Tell me, how important is a night like Culture Night for you and for the other galleries around as well?
Extremely important. It's the one night where we all just really chip in. We all stay open late. Everything's free, and it's just all about culture. It's all about the art, and it's so important to bring the families and the children, start them young really, and get them involved in art. And galleries can be so intimidating, and there's a bit of a snobbery there, so that we want to just scrap all that for one night and bring everyone in.
David, we're here tonight at the Bad Art Gallery for Culture Night. What a great night.
It's been wonderful. There's been a lot of people here having a good time, drinking the free becks.
And speaking of free backs, that's what you've chosen to
what
paint.
I decided to
this
paint.
evening.
Yeah, I thought, Guinness Arthur night was last night, so I thought Beck's night could be tonight. So I decided to paint a big Beck's. So I started this morning, did a little bit in the afternoon, and then finished it off just now. It took about 5 hours.
And is that something you normally do?
No, I normally paint paintings of Dublin. So I do Hickory Bridge and Grafton Street and that kind of stuff.
And as an artist, do you find it difficult painting in kind of that pressurised environment where people are looking over your shoulder?
Yeah, it's very hard. I normally paint in town, nice quiet streets, only a few people pass by, occasionally someone stops you. I would never paint on Grafton Street, so I have to use photographs. So it's a little pressurised, I was sweating the whole time. But it was worth it, it was fun.
And this evening, will you be visiting anywhere else?
No,
enjoying Culture Night
just
yourself?
going to relax and start looking at all the other paintings here. And I'm going to have a Beck's and relax and take it easy.
That's great. Thank you very much for
Thank
chatting
you.
to us.
Thanks.
Kevin,
Yes.
it's Culture Night tonight, where everyone's here having a great time.
Yeah. Well, I'm having a good time too.
And you're painting live this evening, aren't you?
Yeah, I have been painting. Yeah, I've taken in a couple of paintings that were kind of almost finished. I didn't do any paintings from scratch here because there simply isn't the time.
How long would it take you to do a painting?
I'm a terrible man for leaving things down. So it could be I could start a painting in January and not finish it until January of the following year. That's not to say any work was done in between. It's just I'm a slow worker. Maybe, all told, it would be a matter of a few weeks, I suppose.
And would you find it pressure? Do you feel the pressure when you're painting in an environment like this, people watching you?
Oh, in this? No, I'm quite happy to be painting in front of people. I think I was born to it.
So you're more of a performance painter?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't like to spend my entire career painting in front of people, but it doesn't bother me that people are around. I like having people around.
And it's Culture Night tonight, obviously, which is what we're all celebrating. How important, as an artist, do you think that nights like this are for Dublin and for the art scene here in Ireland?
Well, I think the more, the better, really. I mean, art makes us. It's an aspect of life that makes people, perhaps happy, or something brings them out of the world they're in most of the year. So it certainly does that for me anyway. I would love to see art, and I think perhaps if it's not confined all the time to galleries, which have a kind of an exclusive feel to them, then it's better. So a night like this, my family are out. Yeah, everybody else, there's a kind of a passeggiata going on here. It's fantastic. We could do with more of that in Ireland.
And what a spectacular night it's been. We'll be back next year, but until then, don't forget that Cultural Ireland is open for business all year round.